Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today I want to share with you my wardrobe goals for 2026, and I'm also going to be bulk filming a bit, hopefully about 2 videos today and then a few more videos coming up. So it's very likely that you will see this band-aid a lot because this will take a while to heal. Let's not talk about it. But enough about that. Today I'm sharing with you my 6 wardrobe goals for 2026. So let's go. The first goal I have for the year, these are in no particular order, but the first goal I have is to buy fewer items than I did in 2025. 2025 was a very big thrifting year for me, which I like. I do want to acquire the vast majority or all of my clothes secondhand and not new. However, I acquired about 80 items this year and I feel like that is a lot. Granted, my size has changed this year. I've had to buy some new things, but if I'm being completely honest and transparent, it's not a case of I needed 80-ish items new because nothing fit me. I had to sort of upgrade or update some items to fit me, like pants and skirts, for example. Very few of those still fit me from previous years, but the majority of the 80 or so items were not necessary. They were just for fun. So I want to acquire fewer items next year, period. I don't want to acquire fewer thrifted items and more new items. That is definitely not what I'm saying. I'm still very much secondhand first, and secondhand is what I mainly want to focus on. But I don't think I should add another 80 items into my wardrobe. With that being said, though, I haven't picked a number. I haven't said that it's going to be 50 or no more than 20. I haven't picked a number like that. I just reviewed what I have acquired this year, how many items, how much I've spent on it, all of that good stuff, and was like, I want to change something about next year, and I decided to change the number of items. If I could also spend less, that would be good, but my focus is fewer items. My second goal is to acquire no more than 5 newly produced items. I am once again doing the Max 5 challenge by the Swedish Society for Nature Conservation. I did it between September 24 and September now, 25, and then in October again, without having purchased anything new. In between those 2 times, I started it again. So it's running until sometime in October 2026 as well. And so far, I'm at 0 new items. I am still thinking about the 2 pairs of striped pants that I talked about in my Max 5 wrap-up video. They may be entering my wardrobe. I don't know. I'm still very intrigued by them, but that's a whole other story. As of now, since October, I have not acquired any new items, so I still am allowed 5 new items for the duration of 2026, or at least until the end of the challenge, which will be, like I said, October 2026. But I don't think this is going to be a very big challenge for me because it was fine this year. And again, secondhand first is what I like to do, and secondhand is what I really enjoy doing. That's such a joy of mine to go secondhanding, or to do it on the apps, I suppose. But going shopping for new stuff isn't really something I do. It's not something I seek out a lot. My next goal you will have heard of before as well, just like the Max 5 one, and that is to wear everything in my wardrobe at least one time. I had that same goal in 2024, I've had it now for 2025, and I'm doing it again for 2026. And that is also a thing, like the more things I acquire, the fewer times I get to wear my favorites and pieces I want to wear. I mean, I should want to wear everything, but you get what I mean. And the more items I have to get through to reach that goal. If I had a 10-piece wardrobe, which I don't think is ever going to happen, but if I did that, I'd be done in 10 days. Theoretically, even less, because some of them will probably be separates. But the more items I have, the longer it will take for me to get through them. And I have been looking a lot at my wardrobe recently, both physically here when I've set it up in this new room that I'm in, but also in wearing and digitally in other ways that I'm keeping track of my clothes and prepping for videos. And there are so many pieces, especially pieces that I got this year and I suppose then feel very exciting and fun and shiny and new, that I'm like, I wish I'd worn that more. Looking at this makes me really happy. Oh, I really like this, you know? And I want to get wear out of my pieces that I really like and I want to wear. And that's not just my new pieces, it's not just the pieces from this year, but when I scroll through my wearing, because I have been importing things regularly throughout the year as I acquired these 80 pieces, there was a block of time in summer, which if I scroll just that part of wearing, it is so fun. It's bright colors, it's nice airy fabrics, also it's summer, like that's nice. Thinking of when we're now in December, and I read an article the other day that Stockholm, which is not where I live, but it's the capital of Sweden, has had 0.4 hours of sun in December. 0.4 hours of sun. It is December 14th when I'm filming this. I read that article yesterday. And when I'd read that, I wanted to find more stats for like where I live, and I couldn't find that. But I did find out, and this is so, like, it's not new, I know that this happens, but I hadn't seen it in numbers. We have lost almost 13 hours of daylight per day since summer. Like, we haven't lost 13 hours per day because that doesn't work, because 24 hours in a day. But comparing today, or I suppose yesterday, to the height of summer, we had almost 13 more hours per day of daylight. I wouldn't call myself a huge summer person. I say that my favorite season is autumn, and I stand by that. But this December has been so mild. Like, we have temperatures around 5 degrees Celsius, which is, yes, cold. But if I think back on it, it's not that much colder than it was in like April and May, which is like entering into summer. It was a very cold spring this year. And just, it's been so dark, and it's been no snow. We had like one snow day in November, maybe two. There's been no snow. It's been so dark. It's not super cold, which I do like that it's not super cold. That is nice. But it's just been this really long period of dark. And in a week that switches, is slowly going to start getting lighter again. But the warmth and summer and wearing like these bright colors and not having to wear heavy jackets and just wearing shoes that are really light. That was a very long tangent, I apologize. But again, there was a period of time in my wearing that was just very bright, colorful pieces, and I want to wear more of that. And the more pieces I have in general, but also the more pieces I have that are not bright and colorful, the fewer times I get to wear my fun, colorful pieces per year. I want to wear everything at least once, and then wearing a lot of this. Okay. I also want to have a cost per wear focus in 2026, and I haven't fully finalized what I mean by that, and I still want to get to wear what I want. I will make another video on this once I've actually looked at the stats of my wardrobe and actually put together the stats of what my current cost per wear is. I haven't done that yet. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what cost per wear means, if you buy something for $50 and you wear it one time, the cost per wear is $50. If you wear it twice, the cost per wear goes down to $25. If you've worn it 10 times, the cost per wear is $5, and so on. And I think that that would be a good thing for me to look at. I do thrift. The vast majority of my wardrobe is thrifted and not very expensive. It depends. Like, the thrifting I did in Japan was relatively expensive, even without calculating in like the cost of the flight and those costs. Even just looking at the items I got and what they cost, it's a higher cost per item than I usually spend here. Also, vinted, while the item can be pretty cheap, the shipping like increases that price. So even though I thrift a lot, the price of the item really varies. The cheapest item I bought this year cost me 5 Swedish kronor. I will put conversions to US dollars, British pounds, and euro on the screen for you if you want to compare it to your own currencies. That was the cost of the cheapest item, or cheapest items, I should say, because there were 5 that cost that little. But I've definitely also bought more expensive pieces, and so the cost per wear for a cheap item obviously goes down very fast, but a more expensive piece I have to wear more times for the cost per wear to reach the same level. And again, I will have a video up on that probably in the new year. I have so many video ideas right now, and I think I'm gonna put out a couple extra videos throughout the end of the year. I usually do Mondays. This might be a Monday, this might not be a Monday, I am not sure. I have my videos for the 15th and the 22nd already uploaded and ready to go, so I will have one on the 29th, and I want to do one more video at least this year because I want my total uploads to be 40. That's a goal I have this year. So there will at least be one more video going out this year, but probably possibly more than that. But figuring out where I want my cost per wear to end up at the end of 2026, and also where it is now, that will be a different video because I haven't done that math. But this also factors into how I wear things next year, and some of the pieces in my wardrobe I will only have worn one time this year. I think I will only have worn one time this year because I've done the wear everything at least once experiment, and then if that item was expensive and I only worn it once, it needs to be worn more times next year for the cost per wear for that item to go down. I think that will be an interesting goal, at least for me. I do love my stats. I do like I don't like math, but I like stats and seeing trends and figuring out those fun things in my wardrobe. I really enjoy that. I hope you do too, and if you don't, you can just skip those videos. That's fine. I won't be offended. But I think that that also really plays into my buying fewer items, because if it turns out that my cost per wear currently is $10 and I want it to be $2, I obviously have a lot of work to do to get the number down. Some of my pieces may be well below that goal and some of them may be well above it, and I don't want to focus on just wearing those more expensive pieces to bring their cost per wear down solely. Like, I want to bring the cost per wear down, probably, but I also want to get to wear the cheaper cost per wear items as and when I want to wear them. And the more pieces I acquire next year, unless they are free — I have gotten 2 hand-me-downs this year, they have not affected the cost per wear, but if I buy pieces, then they're not free, because you don't buy free things, then the cost per wear overall will increase, and then I have to wear those pieces more often. So I really need to look into the cost per wear and figure that out soon, so I know where I'm at when I enter into the new year and might want to shop. I'm still doing the no-buy, the clothing no-buy, for the duration of the 75 Hard Style Challenge, which is ending on December 31st. So from January 1st, I'm allowed to shop again, but I'm not saying I will, first of all. First day of the year, probably not. But also I want to know what my cost per wear situation is like as I enter into the new year, and what I want it to become throughout the year. This will require a bit more planning. Like, the Wear Everything in a Year challenge has for the past 2 years ended up with me entering into fall and being like, oh, I haven't worn all these things, and then making an active plan, an active choice to wear those pieces to complete that challenge. The cost per wear will require more planning than that. Granted, I don't really have any super expensive pieces in my wardrobe, but even so, if I have 5 days left of the year and I want the cost per wear to be $5 and I have something that costs $100 and I've worn it once, that math just isn't mathing. I also just touched on the 75 Hard Style Challenge, which I'm currently doing and wrapping up on New Year's Eve, and I'm doing that again. So far the challenge has been going really well for me. I will have a wrap up of it sometime in early January, hopefully, but I did do a midway check-in video that you can see up here, and I want to do it again. I want to do it sometime in spring, summer, partly because I will be wearing different pieces from my wardrobe during that time. Even though it's been a mild December, I've still dressed more for fall winter than I have for like late spring, early summer. Hopefully whenever I do this challenge come spring, summer, it's not going to be wool weather, you know. Hopefully it's not going to be heavy layers weather. Hopefully. I can dream, right? So I want to do it partly in a different season to wear different pieces and see how that goes, but also seeing if my no-buy that will be a part of it for those 75 days is going to be harder in spring, summer. I don't know if it will, that's why I want to test it out, but I also want to put it at a good time, like a good couple months in the spring, summer, where I'm not planning any trips. I'm not really planning any big trips next year anyway, but like when I have my summer vacation, and other times of the year, but when I have my summer vacation, thrifting is the thing I really enjoy doing. So if I were to plan my 75 Hard Style Challenge over a period of time where I have vacation, it would be doable, but it would be kind of sad and boring. So I'm gonna put it some other time in spring, summer, and just see how it goes in those months as well. The last wardrobe goal I have for 2026 is to partake in some style challenges, at least one. I don't know which one, and you could argue that the 75 Hard Style Challenge is a style challenge, but I'm thinking something else. For example, I know that Lauren from How She Styles has hosted a couple different style challenges over the last couple years, and Kathleen Illustrator has done one. I know that Shayna, I forget the name, but I'll put it on the screen right now, has hosted at least one. There are bound to be others cropping up. Maybe I'll host one myself. Who knows? But I want to partake in something like that, and I don't know if I want to commit to a month-long thing or a week-long thing, but doing some sort of style challenge. I did also talk a little bit in this video about how to do a wardrobe refresh without shopping. I talked about having like a monthly or weekly focus, and that's something I'm also considering, and that would be, to me, considered a style challenge. For example, that this month or this week I'm gonna focus on wearing skirts, or I'm gonna try styling pieces I never wear, or I'm gonna focus on a specific color, like I'm gonna wear a lot of pink this month, that kind of thing. That would be a style challenge. It's something I'm considering doing. I have a lot of ideas written down in my handy dandy little notebook for focuses that I could consider doing, and I might make a separate video on just suggesting some focuses. I might host my own style challenge, which I hadn't considered until I said that a couple moments ago, or I'll just pick one or two from the list and do them myself throughout the year. We will see. But I think doing some sort of style challenge that isn't the 75 hard style challenge would be a really fun thing for me to include in my wardrobe life, in what I do next year. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear in the comments down below if you have any ideas for your own wardrobe goals next year, or if you're just gonna wing the whole thing, which is also totally fine. I look forward to hearing that in the comments down below, and I'll be back with another video soon, probably still looking like this. Gestures to beat up finger, and I hope to see you then. Bye!